लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, दिल थाम के बैठिए, आ रही हैं बॉलीवुड मस्ती की होस्ट बिंदु।
All right. Good evening, namaste, sat sri akal, अस्सलाम alaikum. ये है आपका favorite show, Bollywood Masti. Yay! That's right, and मैं हूँ आपकी host और दोस्त Bindu Kohli. And thank you folks so much for joining. You know what? I just love it when I come on here and I dance a bit and I do this little dilbar. And I want to give a shout out to Janki, who actually sent an email and said that I dance really good. Where's the claps? Hello, people, yes. No, seriously, Janki, thank you so much. I don't think I am such a great dancer, but hey, why not? Really appreciate it. Anyways, folks, once again, welcome to Bollywood Masti. I want to wish all women out there a really happy International Women's Day. That's right, March 8th was Women's Day. And I hope all women out there felt really powerful, really amazing. What does Women's Day mean to you, and what does being a woman mean to you? Well, we'd love to hear from you. So do send us, an email, a message, a video, anything. We would love to hear your comments. Well, for me, what does Women's Day? Well, Women's Day means to me empowerment. It means mentoring. It means a woman of substance, a woman who is truly amazing, and a woman who is truly talented, right? Why do I say talented? Well, this kind of brings me to our guest today on Masti One-on-One. Her name is Rianjali. She's a really amazing singer. And I'll tell you one thing, folks, when we have our little jam session with her, you are just going to get goosebumps all over your body because her voice is so powerful, yet so sweet. So make sure, stay with us for Bollywood Masti because Rianjali is our special guest for our Masti One-on-One. All right. Oh my God, Rianjali. I am so excited about today's show.
Thank you for having me.
Folks,
Thank
welcome.
You so much.
Rianjali, have a seat.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to our home of Bollywood Masti.
Absolutely.
You are gorgeous, and yet you're also so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know,
I appreciate
I
that.
wish actually we had shown more of your video. Which we're probably going to show a bit more because I would have wanted them to show a complete video of yours because you just really, folks, I saw her last year. She was performing at Diwali in Times Square and I just became such a huge fan.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, so let's talk about when it all started for you. When did you start singing?
I grew up singing, I started around 5 years old, but I actually did not take it as a career. I'm sure you know that the Indian culture revolves around trying to do something a little bit more stable. So I, went over to this path of clinical psychology and I was doing case management. And I happened to have a chance meeting with A.R. Rahman, and that was in the middle of 34th Street where we had a chat at Guitar Center and he told me to sing. So the song that you just heard, the snippet of that's what I sang for him 4 years ago.
So wait, he was just walking, you were walking, you bumped into him? Or how did that happen?
It was not that. It was not that. But although that would have been really cool too.
I would have been like, wow.
Yeah. So someone introduced me to him because he heard a song of mine and he wanted to meet me.
That's such an amazing honor and accomplishment.
Absolutely.
For, A.R. Rahman to want to meet you. Wow.
Yeah.
So what did you think when somebody said to you, hey, I mean, it sounds like every day AR wants to meet people, right?
Trust me, I am the most like cynical person on this planet. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know, I didn't believe the person. So I
Right.
thought that it was some sort of joke or prank or whatever. And because I wasn't focusing on music in my life as a career,
Right.
it's not like I was prepping for this, you know?
Yeah,
So it just
yeah.
kind of, I was like, why would this happen? But then I said, if it's really A.R. Rahman, then yes, I'm going to go and meet him. So I didn't believe it until he walked into the room and we had lunch and then we went to Guitar Center and he just casually said, hey, can you sing something? And just picked up a guitar and I was like, sure. Then he pulls out his phone and starts taking a video. And I'm like, what is going on right now, you know? So that started it. That's the long story short. That really started my career in this. He asked me to come to India. And so a couple of years ago, I went over to India and I lived there for almost a year and a half in Chennai.
Really?
Yeah, so I was working under
Wow.
him.
And did you get to perform in shows or?
Well, so my thing is, the one thing that what I really appreciated, that he knew that I did English songwriting. And it's really hard for people to understand that in the South Asian field the South Asian world, because I don't do Hindi music as often. But he liked that and he understood that and he wanted that in his world. So as opposed to being a playback singer, I was actually composing. I was doing something that I feel like there's not that many women out there who get that chance to compose and to songwrite. It's a lot of playback singing, which is great, but
Right.
I would like to see more composers, more audio engineers, more lyricists, you know? So that's what I was doing out there. I worked on a couple of films. I actually worked on Sri Devi's last film, Mom. I sang and I wrote a song and I music supervised on that. So those were the kinds of things that I was doing as opposed to just playback
So
singing.
you've been living here all your life, and
Born
then,
and raised, yeah.
and then you went
Suddenly.
to India for a year.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was crazy because I'm actually North Indian and my background is North Indian, but I was down in Chennai, which the language barrier was really hard.
Right,
You know,
right.
because they don't speak Hindi in Chennai, and
Yes.
I spoke English with my coworkers, but when it came to like everyday environment, it was a little difficult. I missed the food, you know, but
Yeah.
the goal was bigger. I realized that I came from a place where I was doing something totally different. My life was totally occupied with work. I wasn't
Right.
even doing music. So to get that chance and to suddenly, out of nowhere, now I'm living in India for the last year and a half, it was just kind of surreal.
So you were like composing or singing? Or
I was
both?
doing almost all of it. I was singing, I wrote lyrics for movies, I was music supervising, which is essentially the assistant to the composer, and obviously A.R. Rahman was the composer. I learned actually how to use those softwares like Logic and Pro Tools. When you see certain songs or cues cutting to movies, I was the one who would be making those decisions that, oh, this scene comes in and I would make the music go here. So things like that, just things that I had no training whatsoever.
Right,
You know, so it
right.
was really cool. It was actually a really amazing experience.
So tell us, what was it like? I mean, every single day working with AR, what is he like?
He is quite possibly one of the nicest people that I've ever known. And I'm not just saying that because we're on TV, I promise. Like, he is just so kind-hearted. One story that I always tell is, I think we used to have meetings at odd hours. You know, the music schedule there's no real schedule. So around 3 p.m. we got called into a meeting and I had only slept for 3 hours at that time. And we walked in, the meeting ran until 9 p.m. So I haven't had my first meal of the day yet. And now it's 9 p.m. and I'm
Yeah.
just struggling, like, and so I told him, I was like, do you mind if I just grab something to eat because I haven't eaten yet? He was like, oh, you haven't had dinner? And I was like, no, I haven't eaten yet. And he freaked out. He was like, what do you mean you haven't eaten yet? And since that day, he's like, never come to my meetings without eating food. He like ordered food for the entire room. He was like, I didn't know that you guys didn't eat.
Right.
And so that's how he is, you know? He just wants
Very
to make sure,
caring.
yeah, very caring, wants to make sure that everyone's taken care of, you know, as far as the employees go. He's just a really kind-hearted person. And what I love is for example, I did not have YouTube videos out at that time. I had just this one song. And so I wasn't really, like I said, I wasn't on this path. He didn't have to look at my numbers and say, hey, she has this many million views, I want to pick her up.
Right,
He saw,
right.
hey, she's got some talent. And then he wanted to take that and let that grow, which I think is something that a lot of people don't do, you know, to give that chance to people who maybe didn't have that chance before.
So why did you like come back?
I came back because I you know, have a life here. You know, I'm born and raised here. And I wanted to take the experience and the credits that I got there and come back here with it. I wanted to try and explore that here because at the end of the day, this is actually my home, you know? And I know he understood that.
You know, but that's really interesting. I mean, that you're saying, yes, this is your home, but, you know, people would love for that chance and stay there and not even come back.
Right, that's true. But you know, there is kind of a cycle that you might get trapped in there where, you know, then you want to still be your own musician. And I loved working for him. I actually still work for him. Whenever he comes to LA or New York, we've actually just done a movie together. I wrote for a movie just a couple of months ago, and I was living here when that happened. So I wanted that relationship. I wanted him to count on me no matter where we were in the world. You know, just not to depend on just the fact that, hey, I'm next to you, I'm near you, and so you're gonna call me. I want him to call me, and I want others to know that too, not just the world in India. I want everyone to sort of globally get to know that, hey, there's a singer out here, but she also writes lyrics and she also composes, because like I said, I actually can't name off the top of my head another person who's composing as well, you know?
As well, right.
So I wanted
So
that
which
to be,
do you love, composing or singing?
It comes hand in
most?
hand. It honestly, I mean, I love singing. I absolutely love singing. That's what I started with. But these days, I love making my own content. I just released, on International Women's Day, as you mentioned, I just released a song called Whole Again. And it's actually about picking up my own pieces and becoming whole again, because you're the one who's supposed to do that for yourself, not depend on anybody. So I thought it was a great way to release it on International Women's Day. So I really love doing and composing my own stuff.
So coming back now from India, you know, how are you trying to kind of, you know, stay up there or make a living of it, basically?
Right, great question, because I think that's a lot of things people kind of just assume, like, hey, you worked with AR, you're probably good now, you know? But no, it's a lot of work. Initially, I actually was unemployed for some time, and I'm teaching, actually. I teach at a school, but besides that, I've gotten the opportunity to do so many things. I performed at Giphy headquarters, Facebook headquarters. I performed at the Victoria's Secret fashion show recently, backing up for Shawn Mendes. I wrote a song for Love Sonia. It's like, I really worked really hard to make sure that I was in the scene. I perform a lot. I perform all over the city, like wherever music takes me, I go, especially because I'm young right now. I just kind of run with the opportunities, you know? So people have noticed that, people know that I'm doing it. And I believe that I'm producing quality work. So I think that people are starting to really understand that. And so people are, you know, I think it's just kind of catching on.
So what about going on one of these America's Got Talent?
I'll be really honest, I feel like a couple of years ago, I would have felt like, wow, that would have been an amazing chance. And the odd, funny thing is that I have emails from the producers asking me to do a private audition, minus like getting rid of all that waiting around and stuff. And I thought about it and I was like, you know, it's crazy, because now I'm kind of just like, I'm good where I am, because that lifestyle, because that lifestyle is crazy. Like, I know some people who've actually gone through that. And it's not about how tough it is, it's not really 100% about the talent. And it's a lot of, you know, there's a story that they need to create, right? And I get that, I totally get that. But because I'm kind of
not just talent.
Exactly,
You don't have like some sort of a
crazy story
or a depressing story behind it, you know.
Something that's gonna get the viewers, right? And I mean, I would not mind, but I think that I'm on this like really great path right now where I'm getting this momentum, and I feel like I'm heading to where I want to head. I'm not there yet, you know, but I'm heading there. And I think that I would have probably died for an opportunity to audition for like America's Got Talent or American Idol maybe like a couple years ago. But I'm just like, I'm kind of like happy with the way that things are going right now, you know, and I've gotten a lot more opportunities just on my own, you know, so I think that's where I'm at with that.
Well, you know, it's really also destiny, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, who would have thought one day you'd be in Chennai with AR?
Exactly. So you never know. I mean? Clearly, you never know.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and then who would have thought you'd actually give it up?
Yeah.
I mean, really. Yeah. So, what kind of songs do you like to sing?
I definitely loved singing a lot of English songs. I grew up singing Hindustani classical when I was younger, but somewhere along the way, I fell in love with a guitar. I taught myself a little bit, and when I started writing my own music, I realized I have a genre my own. I don't even know what to call it because I've been influenced by film music. I've been influenced by American and Indian film music, R&B, 90s hip hop. There's just so many different cultures. Like just today on the car ride, we were listening to all the A. Rahman classics, you know? But at the same time, I love Whitney Houston and I love Michael Jackson, and there's just so many different influences. So I will say I primarily sing English songs and I compose English music, but there's many times where people are like, sing me a Hindi song, and I'm like, sure, you know?
So you wouldn't want to make it like as a playback singer in Bollywood? I mean,
No, actually,
no,
no.
really?
I mean, I would love to sing for Bollywood, but I don't necessarily want to have a name as a playback singer. I actually overall want to be a composer.
You know, you're actually one of the, I would say, I shouldn't say one of the, but I think the first young talent who kind of, you have your set ways, you know what you want to do. You know, I mean, you have these young aspiring singers out there.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll just take this, we'll take that. You know, I just love singing and I just love music.
Right.
And if I get a break in Bollywood or Hollywood or whatever, I'll
Yeah.
just, but you actually have, you're grounded.
I didn't think about it like that before,
Yeah.
honestly. I kind of just always,
I mean, we've
That,
had
yeah.
guests here
Yeah.
before who are singers and talented
Yeah.
singers, you know, but it's like they're just we'll
ready to take
anything
the next,
we'll get.
right.
Yeah.
I think it's really important because you have to choose quality over quantity. It's really important for yourself because people will start to know you for what you do exactly, not just like, oh, cool, like she got famous off of this.
Right,
I don't want
right,
to be
right.
famous off of this. I want to be like, wow, this is what she does, you know? And I think there's a difference between that. And so, I mean, that's good to know from you that I guess I'm grounded.
You know, I'm actually really excited about you singing.
Thank you.
So, folks, I know all of you out there are going to enjoy when Rianjali is going to be singing right after this commercial break. And if you want to talk to her, our phone lines are open as well. So don't go away. We'll be back after this commercial break. Welcome back, folks. If you just joined me, this is Bollywood Masti, and I am your host, Bindu Kohli. And we are actually having our little chat with an amazing guest of ours, and she is Rianjali. All right, and I am so excited about this segment because this is our live jam session. This is where the viewers out there get to hear from you. But you know what? Before we start that, I have one question to ask you. Tell us one experience that you remember with A.R. Rahman.
One crazy experience was he asked me to sing a solo for MTV Unplugged Season 6, which he was the headliner for. And so I was going to sing Aise Na Dekho. I had practiced with the band. We had an entire rehearsal. And then day of, he pops up, gets on stage. He's all dressed up, getting his makeup done. And I was like, hey, sir, what's going on? What are you doing here? And he just comes and sits down next to me with the accordion. And he's like, oh, yeah, we're performing together. And I had never performed with him like a solo like that, you know?
Right, right.
And then, I was like, what do you mean we haven't practiced? He's like, yeah, we'll figure it out. And so that entire thing was just winged, and it was really, really cool. I was dying of nervousness, but also he loves doing that. He loves to challenge you and see what happens.
Right.
And he definitely did that. So that was a really amazing experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But you, as you said, you kept it going.
Yeah, you have to, you know?
Yeah,
You just got to run
yeah.
with it. You have to run with it. Yeah.
All right. Such a powerful voice.
Thank you so
really
much.
sweet, but yet so powerful. Tell us a background about that song. Like, how did you come about the lyrics and so forth?
Yeah, so the song is called Whole Again, and it's about picking up your own pieces. You go through life, there's people that come along in your life that, you know, good and bad, right? And the bad tends to affect you more. And so at some point, a couple of years ago, actually right prior to meeting AR, I feel like I was sinking into this place where I was just working and I had family responsibilities and really wasn't doing anything for myself. And so I didn't know how to get out of that. And actually, I'll be completely honest, this music, this whole journey, I feel like changed me completely. And so this was my, I guess, me saying this has made me whole again. And so it's about, you know, whatever has come along the way that's broken me down, but this is me picking up my own pieces.
Interesting. It's a really amazing song.
Thank you.
You know, let's have some live action.
Yeah.
now.
This is actually the song that I mentioned that when I met AR, he asked me to sing.
Yes,
And so
yes.
I had actually written this just like a month prior to meeting him, and I thought, okay, if I'm gonna sing something, I have to sing an original, you know?
Right.
So this is it. Write a song for me and I'll give you a melody. I'll play your keys with mine. Mail your words to me and I'll keep them so carefully. I'll read between the lines. But when you call, I don't hear your voice anymore. You say you're home, but I'm alone standing by the door. And I would swim across the ocean, and I don't really know how to swim. But if you were on the other side, I'd rather drown than know that I never tried to make you mine. Won't you say those words to me? I hear you say them in my dreams. Fear behind your eyes. If you play your notes for me, we'll harmonize so perfectly. I'll promise you my life. But when you're near, I can't feel your touch anymore. You take my hand, still they seem so cold. And I would swim across the ocean, and I don't really know how to swim. But if you were on the other side, I'd rather drown than know that I never tried to make you mine.
Such powerful lyrics.
Thank you.
Oh my God. And you wrote this yourself?
Yeah, this is all up from my upcoming EP, which is releasing in April.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, really talented.
Thank you.
You mentioned you love Whitney Houston.
I do.
So
Yeah.
let's hear a song.
Yeah, Whitney Houston? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I love
mean,
her too.
I can do it without the guitar? Yeah?
Whichever you
okay,
want.
cool.
Yes.
You probably know which one I'm going to do. The big one?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'll keep this here. If I should say I would only be in your way, so I'll go, but I'll know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. I will always love you.
Wow.
Thank you. That's what I remember from that song.
Honestly, you really need to go to these reality shows. America's Got Talent. So this way I can say, that's it. There she is, Rianjali. I told her to go. Seriously,
Oh, man, thank you.
are so talented.
Thank you.
Let's talk about 5 years from now. Where
Yeah.
do you see yourself?
I'm dreaming big now, so
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, I'm hoping that I could make enough of an impact. My thing is independent music, obviously. You know, I create my own stuff, and I think that it's one thing that really seems impossible is that, you know, I've got support in my South Asian community, right? But you tell me, do you see another South Asian singer in the main industry here?
No.
Yeah. And that's I have a huge problem with that, and I'm sure that a lot of people do too. And it seems impossible because it always seems like there's only space for one, or that there is always this exotic factor that needs to be pulled in, right? So you've got to look a certain way or dress a certain way. And I want to be in the mainstream industry, but still do what I do. And that it's not like, hey, here's our token Indian singer. I want it to be, she's a talented composer, singer, songwriter, has it all, but she's also Indian. And that way I can start supporting my community. I'm sure there's a lot of indie artists, independent artists within the South Asian community who probably don't feel like they have a space to grow. You know, you have to be signed, or you have to do Bollywood. You have to have a co-sign of like someone in Bollywood or something. And I want that to change, you know? So I'd love to be able to be in a place, I don't know exactly where that place is, but to be able to have my own music. You know, I don't know if it even means to be signed. You know, if that happens, like, let's see. But
So, I mean, how do you anticipate to
do that?
do that?
Right now,
Get that big break.
Yeah. You know, it
If you
doesn't
won't
happen
do any
overnight.
reality shows.
I'm going to prove to you it's going to be possible without the reality shows.
You know?
I think that, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, obviously. And right now I'm really busting my butt to, you know, me and my team, we email, contact every single person we know, put it out there, word of mouth, perform everywhere, literally sending my music to everyone we know. And we do have quite a bit of, you know, connections within our world, but we're just trying to see where it goes. And it's a lot of knocking on doors and a lot of rejections along the way, but someone's gonna pick it up, because I know that there's something that I have. It's just that I need the world to be like ready to see it, you know? So
There goes that grounded woman talking. And you know what? We're going to have more of our chat with Rianjali, but please don't go away. We'll be back after a छोटी सी break के बाद. Welcome back, folks. You have just tuned into Bollywood Masti, and I am Bindu, and we have our special guest, Rianjali. Rianjali, so we heard all about your music. We heard about what your plans are in the future. Let's talk a little bit on the personal front.
yeah.
Any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I have an older brother. He's 5 years older than me. But I think he would also agree that I'm probably the older one in our family. Yeah. Yeah, and just
He's
a
not
brother.
in music?
He loves music, but he's not in music. He's actually like one of my biggest fans. So
Well, no, I thought I was.
maybe you're a close second.
And on the personal front, marriage plans, kids?
Not,
Or maybe it's
no
too
kids.
soon, no kids?
Yeah, I'm gonna focus on the goals first before the kids. But I am actually getting married in July.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. All right. Wish you all the best
Thank
in
you.
that, you know. So, you know, you released a song for International Women's Day.
Yeah.
What is Women's Day and women empowerment to you?
I think a lot of it is what's happening now, which is great. A lot of new conversations coming up and things. There's a whole revolution going on right now all across the country, the world, of women standing up for their rights, of women speaking up in the government, whether it be in the government or in music or in media. And I think it's just a long time coming. And I'm just happy that it's finally happening, because when I was younger, I guess I didn't even realize how much it was necessary. You know, we are capable of exactly the same things that everyone else is capable of, sometimes even more so. So
I think more so.
yeah, absolutely. You know, I think women take on a lot of toll because they feel a lot of responsibility in different places in their life. Like, I'm not just a singer. I'm not just a daughter. I'm now going to be a to-be wife. I'm you know, a daughter. I'm a sister, and I'm also a working woman. You know, like I'm a teacher. There's just so many, and then you know, there's just so many roles that you have, and you don't give yourself credit for it because it's expected. And I think now, this world that we're living in, we just have a little bit more power. I'm going to say a little bit because we want to strive for more, to do whatever we want and say whatever we want, you know, because it's been a long time coming.
So, you know, I actually think that you know, it's only recently, like 3-4 years back,
Yeah.
I think, that this whole Women's Day and women empowerment got really kind of like out there.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually started an event that I do like in the month of March, and it's called South Asian Women Empowerment.
Right.
And what I do is basically mine's an awards night, you know, where, you know, I have about 10 to 12, you know, accomplished women, women of substance, and, you know, really amazing women. And each year I'll, you know, bring a Bollywood star
Yeah.
to kind of like, the Bollywood star is there to give out the award. And for me, even though when I advertise and promote the event, everybody's like, oh wow, this star's coming, this star's coming. But for me, it's more, what's more important is it's a night for the honorees. You know,
Absolutely.
it's their night. Throughout the year, they're working hard.
Yeah.
They're the ones being, you know, mentoring others. They're the ones giving in the community, you know. And I'll tell you, like, you know, I have, you know, one such honoree who was a millionaire, okay? And I always, every time I meet her and I see her, I always say, like, she's going to be the next Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
She gave up all her money. I mean, imagine being a millionaire, giving it all up. She
Right.
gave up all her money, gave it to her family, right? And now she's out there, you know, she has a shelter in New Jersey. She takes in like homeless women and their kids, and she doesn't care what race, culture you are, you know.
Yeah.
She will take you in. And now recently she even, you know, got a truck where she goes around and does a food and clothing distribution.
That's
like goes to
amazing.
the poverty
Yeah.
area. You know, so it's that level of women, that caliber of women that are being honored.
That's
you know?
amazing.
So for me, as I said, it's really their night.
Yeah.
But people do come out because of the Bollywood star,
course,
you know.
yeah.
So actually, like this Thursday is my first event, South
Right.
Asian Women Empowerment, with Sushmita Sen,
Amazing.
who's the chief
Yeah.
guest, and I'm actually doing 6 shows with her across U.S.
That's incredible.
So, you know, this is one. I mean, I do other events, but this is one event that I'm so passionate about.
Right.
Because I just feel there's so many amazing women out there.
Absolutely.
You know, and we need to like bring it to the community to
Exactly.
show the type of work they're doing.
Right. Exactly. To showcase them, to recognize them, and to give them that.
Yes. So, folks, take a look at the ad for Sushmita Sen, who is going to be the chief guest for the South Asian Women Empowerment Awards Night at Leonard's Great Neck, March 14th. Take a look.
In celebration of women empowerment, Bindu Kohli Entertainments presents South Asian Women Empowerment Red Carpet Gala, presenting the dazzling, the beautiful, the style icon, former Miss Universe, Sushmita Sen.
Hi guys, this is Sushmita Sen and I am super excited to join you all for Bindu Kohli Entertainment's South Asian Women Empowerment Red Carpet Gala, powered by 27 Investments, on March the 14th at Leonard's Palazzo. Let's celebrate women and empower each other. On a personal note, Bindu, I love you and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.
Call 718-200-9311.
All right, there you have it, folks. Sushmita Sen is going to be at Leonard's Great Neck on March 14th for South Asian Women Empowerment. I hope all of you out there really enjoyed today's show. I really enjoyed it myself. Good luck to Rianjali out there. I know in 5 years we're going to be seeing her, you know, in the American mainstream. And once again, folks, thank you so much. Happy Women's Day to all women out there. I am Bindu, and have a terrific week. Love you all. Bye.